Well, hey guys, what's up? The Key Bridge in Baltimore, that's what's up. Now, some of you know I am from Baltimore, and my immediate family still lives there. So my sister's been giving me the skinny about what the sentiment is about all of this that happened in Baltimore, as well as I have a few thoughts on the subject myself. So if you're interested, let's get to it. Oh, now, we know this was a cargo barge, but if I call it a ship or a boat, just give me a pass. Okay, first off, there is a whole segment of people in Baltimore that my sister feels like this was done on purpose. And so I asked her to clarify what on purpose meant. And it turns out she doesn't really mean that. I mean, basically, I see it like this. If you have a car and you know that your brakes are bad, but you don't get them fixed, and then God forbid something comes up and you have to slam on your brakes and they don't stop your vehicle, and you slam into a minivan with a family in it, are they going to say you did it on purpose? Probably not. But are they going to say you were negligent about the condition of your vehicle and still using it? Probably so. So I feel like that is going to become an issue further down the road, whether or not there was really something wrong with this barge before they left port, but they chose to do so anyway. Also, the company that owns the barge wants there to be a cap on how much they are liable for, which basically says they want whatever the insurance covers to be it. Anything above what the insurance company covers, they do not want to be responsible for. So I see both of these things becoming a major issue down the road. Other thing I found interesting was the fact that this was a crew of 8, and they were all from different countries. Now, some of you may not be aware of this, but as a business owner, you are well aware that if you hire, and back when I last hired, I haven't hired anybody in 7, 8 years, but back when I hired people, it was conveyed to you from the government that if you hired what they considered illegal aliens, then you were at risk of being fined or even losing your business. Now, they gave you a number you could call to verify the Social Security number on whatever ID you were given. But this was not necessary if you didn't feel like this person may, I mean, I don't even know how to say that in a nice way. So I think you understand what I'm saying. So basically what would happen is if you felt like they could be a problem, then there was a number you could call to verify the Social Security number. The problem was this number was busy all the time. All the time. Now, if you're a big company, sure, maybe you have the manpower to have someone just keep dialing that number until somebody answers so you could verify some Social Security numbers. But if you're a small company, you don't have that type of manpower or that type of time. So either you didn't hire anybody who didn't look basically black or white, or you looked at the ID, and if it looked real to you, you accepted it and moved on. Not saying whether that's right or wrong, just saying what it is. And the reason why I bring that up is because I find it very odd that the family members of the 6 people who were lost have seemed to put a little distance between themselves and the media. Okay? It just seems odd. Now, I know a cousin came forward, and the wife of one of the men who were rescued, she made a statement, but something she said in the statement I also found odd. She said that she was thankful that they rescued her husband because he couldn't swim, but she also lost a brother-in-law and a nephew. Now, we're talking a small 8-man crew, and three of them were related. And the fact that there doesn't seem to be any information about the people who perished. I mean, there doesn't seem to be any real information about any of these guys. And I just thought it was kind of odd. Now, the last thing was about whether or not the guys on the bridge were warned. Now, based on the timeline and the audio they put out, in my opinion, I don't think they were warned. Because if you think about it, when the Mayday call was made, between the time the Mayday call was made and the time the barge actually hit the bridge was less than 2 minutes. Now, the Mayday call went to a government entity that handles that kind of stuff. And then the government entity contacted security on either end of the bridge. All of that went like that. That's why they were able to get the bridge closed so quickly. But then the construction crew was not government. It was a privately owned construction crew. And I am pretty darn sure that the person who had the information about who they were and what their contact information was probably home in bed. So by the time someone brought up the fact that there was a construction crew on that bridge, I can only envision everybody sitting around going, well, who is it? What company is it? Where's their phone number? By the time they went through that, it was too late. So no, I don't think the construction crew had any idea what was about to happen. And as the wife of the person who was rescued said, all the guys were on their lunch breaks, so they were all sitting in various trucks. So that was what I know so far. If you have heard something different, then please put it in the comments section. Tell me what you think, because this was tragic. Oh, and I will mention the fact that Baltimore got that, well, they got a portion of the thruway open, so the Port of Baltimore can still be open for business, was a good idea. Because if it had stayed closed for any amount of time, then those ships would have had to go somewhere else. And once you go somewhere else, who's to say you're going to come back? So they really hustled to get that waterway clear. Now, what they do is they have a tugboat. Bring them past all of that to go out into the water, and they have a tugboat that picks them up at a certain point beyond the bridge and brings them into the port now. Before, the tugboat only took them out of the port. It did not take them out into the real water, because that's the way they did things. But I'm pretty sure now that once they get a new bridge built, I'm sure the tugboats will be required to take them beyond the bridge and let them go. So that's all I have to say. Oh, also, I'm sure you're probably wondering, Sheila, what's with all the videos? Well, you know, I started intermittent eating, or intermittent fasting, I guess you could say. Because unless I lose 15 pounds off these knees, I'm not going to make it camping this summer. And I want to do at least one camping trip. So I only eat between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., which is fine the days I work. I can hold off until lunchtime, and when I get home, I'll eat dinner, and 9 o'clock, I'll take my butt to bed. But on my days off, so anyway, I still wake up at 5:30 on my days off, and I need to find things to keep me entertained and busy until I can have my first meal at 11 a.m. So hence all the extra videos. Sorry. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.